You're a terrible liar. Leo? The officer sneered, snapping the cuffs around his wrist. Funny, considering Leo had just lied his way into saving the only boy he'd ever loved. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Leo had only meant to open the back door, leave it unlocked. One small favor, a final goodbye. But now the town was crawling with police, the house was empty, and Eli the boy with wildfire in his eyes was gone. Leo Monroe, 19, quiet, the kind of guy who writes poetry he never shows anyone, had never even jaywalked before. Now he was being interrogated for helping a convicted felon escape. Not that Eli was a criminal. Not really. They'd met 2 summers ago. Eli, rough around the edges with a smirk that could burn holes through armor, had just moved in with his aunt 2 doors down. Leo remembered the first time they talked. It was over spilled soda and a broken phone case. But it escalated quickly. Late-night drives, secret texts, touches that lingered too long. Leo, who'd never dared to believe anyone would see him that way, had fallen hard. And then the fire happened. Someone had set the mayor's warehouse ablaze, and Eli was the only one seen running from the scene. He swore he hadn't done it. Leo believed him because Eli had been with him that night, kissing him behind the old theater, whispering, "Don't tell anyone." But no one else knew, and Leo had stayed silent. Eli was sentenced. It was light 3 years in juvenile detention, but it felt like a lifetime. Until 3 days ago when Eli escaped. He showed up at Leo's window at 2 a.m., soaked, bruised, starving. "Just help me get out," he'd whispered. "Just once. Then you never have to see me again." But Leo hadn't been able to say goodbye. Not really. So he'd given Eli his cousin's ID, packed a bag, handed him a bus ticket to Portland, and promised to wait one last time by the train tracks. That night, they kissed under the rusted signal light, hands trembling, hearts full of things they couldn't say out loud. And in the morning, Leo was arrested. Except instead of charging him, something worse happened. A man in a suit came to his holding cell. Government? Private? Leo didn't know. "We have a problem," the man said. Eli Holt was more than just a runaway. He's part of a program. One we can't let fall apart. Leo stared at him. "What program?" The man smiled. Cold. Calculated. "We'll keep this simple. Eli's gone. You take his place." That's how Leo ended up in a black car, wearing Eli's jacket, being driven to a safe house in Montana. Apparently, Eli had been a candidate, some kind of rehabilitation test subject. The details were murky, but there was someone waiting for him. A handler. A team. A life. Leo didn't want it. Didn't understand it. But every time he said no, the men reminded him of the consequences. "You want your parents safe? You want to stay out of federal prison? Then shut up and play the part." So he did. At first, he faked it badly. Called the wrong people the wrong names, flinched when touched, but slowly, terrifyingly, it got easier. Then there was Micah. Micah was Eli's roommate in the program. Tall, ex-military, quiet but kind in a way that made Leo ache. At first, Leo tried to avoid him, but Micah seemed to sense something was wrong. He wasn't pushy, just present. "You don't talk much," he said once, tossing Leo a water bottle after their 3rd forced group hike. Leo had shrugged. "I wasn't built to shout." Micah nodded. Neither was he. The more time passed, the more Micah looked at Leo like he knew. Not the details, but the truth that this wasn't Eli. That the boy in front of him was pretending, fading. And then one night it all cracked. Leo found Micah smoking on the porch. The stars above were endless. "You ever feel like your skin doesn't fit right?" Leo asked. Micah didn't move, just exhaled smoke and said, "You're not him, are you?" Silence. "I'm not here to turn you in," Micah added. "Just want to know who I've been falling in love with." Leo's heart stopped. "You don't even know me. I know you watch the birds in the morning. I know you hum when you're scared. I know you cry in your sleep and say someone's name you won't admit out loud." "Eli," Leo whispered. Micah turned. "Was he worth it?" Leo blinked, tears rising. "He is. And maybe, in another world, that would have been the end. But it wasn't, because Eli came back. Not in secret, not quietly, but during a full team briefing. Stormed in through the side door, soaked, bleeding, wild-eyed. "I'm not letting him take the fall," Eli shouted. "This was my mess. Let him go." The room erupted in chaos. But the truth always cuts deeper than silence. In the aftermath, Leo was nearly taken away. Eli was cuffed again. Micah punched a wall. And for 3 days they were kept in separate rooms. Until the man in the suit came back. "Funny thing about loyalty," he said, flipping through a file. "It's a currency we don't see much these days. But you boys? You've got something rare." And just like that, the rules changed. Eli got a reduced sentence, served under house arrest in Montana, supervised by Micah and the program. Leo was released, fully. They offered to fly him home. He refused, because home wasn't the house with white shutters and a backyard swing. Home was wherever Eli was. So he stayed. The scars didn't vanish overnight. There were arguments, fights, long walks in silence. But there were also moments when the world felt still, like the night Eli traced poetry into Leo's palm under the covers. Or when Micah hugged them both after finally leaving the program. They weren't perfect, but they were free. And for 2 boys who had spent years hiding behind lies, behind fear, behind fake names, that was more than enough. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.